You open Claude Code. You type your prompt. Maybe you ask it for some Python or a quick SQL query. It gives you an output, an answer. You copy-paste that code into your editor, run it. If it works, great. If not, you go back to Claude, paste the error, and start the whole dance again. This manual loop, this copy-paste shuffle, is exactly where most Claude Code users are stuck right now. It's also where you're losing hours every single week without even realizing it. Because if your Claude Code setup looks like this, you're missing the real power, the actual architectural shift that makes complex AI agents not just possible, but persistent. You're missing the secret to breaking free from the token bottleneck and keeping your AI pipelines running 24/7. Before I show you how to actually do this, you need to see the one thing that changes how you think about Claude Code entirely. Because once you see this, you can never go back to the way you were using it before. It's not about what Claude Code does. It's about what it connects to. Open up your Claude Code config right now. I bet it has 3 lines, maybe 4. That's it. You're using a Ferrari to drive to the grocery store. What changed is that we stopped thinking of Claude Code as an isolated editor and started treating it as a centralized orchestration engine. Its power isn't in generating lines of code on demand, it's in generating those lines of code within a persistent, multi-step pipeline capable of operating independently. The shift isn't just a new feature in Claude 4.6. It's a fundamental re-architecture of how operators integrate LLMs into local environments. Every isolated prompt, every new session you spin up, costs you crucial context and forces a manual re-authentication of goals. This is the agent honey trap. Seemingly helpful, but ultimately inefficient, leading to circular loops and bloated maintenance. You've seen the manual loop. You've felt the frustration. Now, you're about to see how this fundamental architectural shift unlocks continuous autonomous operations. This is the token bottleneck. I had a 4-hour debugging session last Tuesday. An intermittent API error was causing a data pipeline to fail, but only under specific load conditions. I was using a basic Claude 4.6 agent. Every 15 minutes, it would hit a context limit, forcing me to manually refeed it the logs, the relevant code, and the problem description. 4 hours. With the system we're building today, that same bug got caught in 11 seconds. 11 seconds. This approach isn't just about making Claude Code faster for individual tasks. It's about designing systems where Claude Code, integrated into an agent framework like Hermes, becomes a persistent problem solver. It means your agents can maintain context across days, pass information seamlessly, and self-correct without human intervention. It's about turning your LLM from a super-powered text editor into an autonomous teammate. And this is where it gets interesting, because I'm going to show you exactly how to take your current Claude Code setup and embed it into a persistent, multi-agent architecture using Hermes PY, a tool built specifically for this. You'll bypass token limits. You'll eliminate manual context feeding. First, you'll need to install Hermes. Open your terminal. Type exactly this: pip install Hermes agent. Next, we're going to create a Hermes config YAML file in your project root. This is where the magic starts. Inside, define your Claude agent. Give it a name. Let's call it Code Genius. Now, the crucial step. Under Tools, you're going to define specific actions your Code Genius agent can take. Not just write code, but specific executable functions. For example, we'll add execute Python script and read file. These aren't just descriptions. These are actual Python functions that Hermes will expose to Claude. Think of these as the agent's hands and eyes. Claude can now see your file system and execute code within your local environment. This is how we move from a disconnected chat to a truly contextual agent. Go ahead and set up that basic Hermes config.yaml right now. Define just 2 tools, read file and write file. This simple setup, read file, write file. Instantly opens up a world where Claude Code isn't just suggesting code. It's seeing your project structure and modifying it directly. You've just given your Claude agent eyes and hands. Now, imagine what it can build when it doesn't need you to copy-paste. And now you can do something that was impossible last week. You can create truly autonomous agent workflows that leverage Claude Code's generation capabilities without getting bogged down by manual limits. It completely changes how you build. Consider your duplicate work. Here's a concrete project: an automated documentation agent. Step 1. Once your Hermes PY agent with our read file and write file tools is running, we'll integrate it into an N8N workflow. Drag an HTTP trigger node onto your N8N canvas. Then, add a Hermes agent node. Connect it to your HTTP trigger. This node directly communicates with your Code Genius agent. In the agent node, set the system instruction to review the provided code changes, identify functions and classes, and generate updated documentation in Markdown format. Save the output to a file named updateddocs.mdic. Step 2. Set up a webhook from your GitHub repository to trigger this N8N workflow on every pull request merge. Step 3. Watch it. When a PR merges, N8N receives the event. It triggers your Code Genius agent in Hermes. Claude Code reads the changed files, processes them, and writes the updated docs.md file directly to your project. Automated, persistent documentation without you ever touching a terminal after the initial setup. This is just the start. When Code Genius finishes generating code, or when our documentation agent updates a file, what if we want to automatically trigger a test runner agent, or even a deployment manager agent? That's where Agent Stack comes in. Hermes becomes the orchestrator for multiple specialized agents, each handling a specific part of your dev workflow. You start building truly resilient, self-managing systems. Remember that 3 a.m. Claude problem from the start, where your agent shipped faulty code? The manual copy-paste loop meant any error was only caught after a human intervened. With a persistent Hermes agent equipped with test code and deploy safely tools, Claude Code isn't just writing code. It's automatically testing it against your test suite before pushing to production. It's checking logs. Your Claude agent isn't just a coder. It's a fully integrated self-monitoring developer on your team. Your one single action for today: install Hermes.py. Type pip install Hermes agent into your terminal. Then create a simple Hermes config YAML with your Claude 4.6 key and 2 tools: read file and write file. That's it. In 30 minutes, you'll have laid the foundation for an autonomous future. But there's one critical piece we haven't touched: why the most advanced agents currently enter infinite feedback loops when they communicate with each other. It's what happens when you don't implement the correct external guardrails. We'll break down the specific system instruction layer you need to add to an N8N node to keep an agent from hallucinating in production. That drops Sunday. Your profile will show it.